My name is Shina Robinson, and I am the Resilience Hubs Manager at the Asian Pacific Environmental Network. We've been organizing for about 30 years around environmental justice issues. So in Oakland, we've worked on helping folks stay in their homes and have healthy and habitable homes, healthy workplaces, and deal with local pollution and also lift up local grassroots solutions. So we're in Chinatown today, where most of our members in Oakland live, and hearing from them, I've gotten to work with them around driving our climate policy agenda and really lifting up their solutions that they want to see at the local and state levels. And a lot of it comes from the pollution that they have to deal with here, being ringed in by 3 freeways, having to deal with a lot of diesel pollution from the idling trucks in this very busy and vibrant business district. Because we do support the development and deployment of clean energy and want to make it as accessible as possible. I think EVs, electric vehicles, and EV charging stations are really great, but we also really want to lift up investments into clean mass transit and supporting the transition of kind of the heavy-duty diesel trucks, just lifting up again this neighborhood deeply impacted by the 3 freeways and traffic from the port, as well as our members don't drive, and so having investments into clean buses, zero emission, mass transit is so important for folks to be able to get around that way and have cleaner outside air quality right in these busy neighborhoods. Here at the Lincoln Rec Center where we are today, it's going to be renovated. This is a place that has been serving the Chinatown community since, the park forever, but the center since the 70s. And before the pandemic, they were serving 1,500 folks a day, from elementary school kids to senior citizens. And during the pandemic, we've seen it become a hub for public health information, for distribution of supplies. At the connected park, there's food drives, and different organizations know that they can come to these very few open spaces in Chinatown to come get support and resources. So I think related the food and reducing pollution, we would love to see this center turn into a climate resilience hub, and that's something that APEN is supporting. Just knowing that folks who are majority working class renters don't have the resources for individual solutions or individual ways to address these bigger problems around healthy food or healthy air or healthy transportation. So we have to invest in the collective response. And so we see the development of resilience hubs and resilience centers across the city and all of the environmental justice communities in Oakland as one way to do that and become a hub for resources like clean energy or power when the grid is down, or clean air on a hot, smoky day, or being able to come refrigerate food or medicine when the power is out as well in a collective kitchen. We do a lot of work around healthy housing, and we want to make sure that although there are some solutions around and new policies around new housing in terms of energy efficiency and solar and renewable energy, there's a lot of existing housing that needs to be retrofitted and rehabilitated. And we know it's a more complicated solution, but there are some really cool flagship programs that APEN has helped work on and APEN members have helped work on. One, for example, is the Solar on Multifamily Affordable Housing Program, which is for solar and energy efficiency for existing affordable housing. And that's actually shown that it can be done with 90% of the benefits going to the renters. So we'd love to see more programs like that are really looking at existing housing and existing structures that come with anti-displacement protection so that folks can stay long-term and benefit from these upgrades that they've been waiting for such a long time. We see the work around community ownership of resources as really vital for that. And so supporting community land trusts, supporting things like Tenant Opportunities to Purchase Act, and really get more resources, capital, and like decision-making power in the hands of renters across the city. It just helps shift that balance of power away from, just speculators and those with the most resources to those who are on the ground. And we do want to see that kind of change in ownership paired with all of the climate investments that we're fighting for. And I'm trying to learn from examples around the country that are doing that in terms of, having housing that has solar, that has, sealed windows, that has green space, that has maybe water catchment, all these things to help, renters who are the least responsible for the climate crisis really, build resilience over time. And we see that connected to the Resilience Center work too, in terms of collective responses, and then also making sure that people have resources right where they live too. So I would love to see more open spaces, not just for other types of development, but really preserving places for recreation and having the resources to have them staffed and maintained. I live in East Oakland, and there are some parks around, but with the issues of dumping and trash and glass, and also folks not having anywhere to live, so there's tent encampments popping up. It can really be a barrier for people to use the space to their best capacity. So again, it's like the housing issues are very, very closely related to environmental justice issues. APEN, along with the statewide coalition that we're a part of, the California Environmental Justice Alliance, actually worked on the bill SB 1000 that mandates for cities when they're updating their general plans to include an environmental justice element. And we see that as really important to address systematically what are environmental justice issues that maybe in the past we haven't had the framework to talk about in this kind of like legal and policy way. And I think this process is one way for folks to get involved, and organizations like APEN can help make it a little bit less wonky or less technical, and make sure that we kind of open up the process more democratically for community members to have a say and use their expertise and their day-to-day like lived experience in their neighborhoods to really lift up their solutions in a really intersectional way, because environmental justice covers, it touches so many things. Folks can get involved, find a local organization. APEN works here in Chinatown and Eastlake, but there's a number of other environmental justice organizations across the city, especially representing the flatlands of Oakland. And that can be a forum to connect with neighbors, connect with others, and build that collective voice for change.